Tan Hut, up and at 'em, recruit! Today begins your basic training for the Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp game. This game features tactical turn-based battles and a colorful cast of characters who will keep you on your toes. We'll cover some strategies to make sure you're in tip-top shape when you hit the battlefield. All right, troops, roll out! While you work your way through the 2 separate story campaigns, you'll control several different commanding officers, commonly referred to as COs. Your mission? Defending from opposing nations. But before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's make sure you understand
the basics of battle.
Maps are grid-based, and units can only move a certain number of spaces per turn. Depending on their type, some units can cover more distance, and others have advantages on different terrain. For example, soldiers can only move so far because they're on foot, but vehicles can cover a lot more ground. Now, when it comes to crossing a forest or mountain range, your soldiers are better suited for the trek. March! A unit's type also determines its range of attack. Infantry units can only attack adjacent enemies, but artillery units can cause damage from further away. As units take damage and lose HP, they'll also inflict less damage on their foes. You do have the option to join units together though, healing them back up and replenishing their ammo. Once your units have acted and you end the turn, your opponent gets to make their moves. Now, let's cover how you can gain
the tactical advantage.
In a typical battle, you'll need to capture your opponent's HQ or defeat all their units to secure the win. We have a good number of units on the battlefield, but we could use a little extra firepower. By selecting one of your controlled bases, you can build more units, assuming you have the funds. More controlled properties equals more moolah. You'll want to deploy units that are effective against the opposition. There's no such thing as the perfect army, so I recommend experimenting with all types to adapt to the situation. Perfect timing to introduce
CO powers.
During exchanges with your opponents, this meter will fill up, and you'll be able to use a CO power. Extraordinary abilities that, when used at the right time, can turn the tide of battle.
I can fix anything.
The Orange Star's Andy can use a CO power called Hyper Repair. This restores HP to all his units and increases their defense.
Ready for attack.
Eagle of the Green Earth Army has a CO power called Lightning Strike, which allows his units that have already acted to move again. There's a wide variety of CO powers at your disposal, so figure out which best suit your playstyle. Ba-boom! By the way, this version of Advance Wars has a couple handy new features. Want to speed up the action? Just hold down the ZR button to cruise through dialogue and combat animations. There's also a shiny new reset turn option that allows you to, you guessed it, reset the current turn. Following along so far? Good, because we're not done yet. Hoorah! If the campaign isn't enough for you, then try your hand at
The War Room.
Here you can test your tactical prowess in a wide array of different challenges with the CO of your choice. Try to get the top ranking. Still want more? Then try
Versus Mode.
Square off locally against up to 3 human or computer opponents on one Nintendo Switch system, or wirelessly across 4 systems if each player has the game. Looking for more colorful battles elsewhere? Then take your tactical mind to the internet in
Online Mode.
You and a friend can compete head-to-head in an all-out tactical tussle. You'll both need a Nintendo Switch system and the game, as well as active Nintendo Switch Online memberships. There are a few other modes where you can spend some time, including
The Design Room.
Here, you can create custom maps and share them online or through a local wireless connection. You can also pay a visit to the local commissary called
Hachi Shop.
The Orange Star Army's local chatterbox Hachi is ready and willing to separate you from your in-game coins in exchange for additional battle maps, COs who can be used in the War Room and multiplayer modes, and more. Finally, there's an in-game
Gallery.
Enjoy music and artwork you've obtained from Hachi's shop, among other assorted sundries. It's a great way to reminisce and relive fond memories. Attention! All right, recruit, we've reached the end of your training. Ready to show off everything you've learned? Prove you've got what it takes when Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp marches on to Nintendo Switch April 21st. You can be ready to deploy on launch day by pre-ordering the game on Nintendo eShop.
You were only a child when they sent you off to war. Now look at you. The weight of a galaxy on your shoulders.
Didn't I tell you to be more careful about who you scan? Come on.
I cannot tell you who you must become, or where the line is drawn. There are no easy choices. These are dark times. We have few allies.
Good to see you, gal.
The odds are against us. And they will always be against us.
Now or never!
Seems our destinies are intertwined.
But I can tell you this. If there is any hope of surviving, we must stand against the darkness.
Hyoh, one of many. Eons ago, my kind walked the molten surface of this world. Now, we seek a champion. You must endure the heat of the Crucible. To forge weapons unlike any Raycast has ever seen. Take up the power of the Titans and bring obliteration.
Like I told you, I'm gonna get you home safe. Okay, it's game time. Exalt all Leon, and let it be so.
Without power, nothing can be changed. That is why I must. I will not waver. I will decide the fate of our enemies. You just sit back and watch. You'll regret this. Burn up! Extreme Nova! Game over.
Cassette beasts. Let's go over some combat basics. Always bring your cassette player when adventuring. If you get into any trouble, pop in a monster tape. And listen to it to take monster form. You can record and capture new monster forms onto blank tapes with your cassette player. And lastly, if the going gets tough, combine your hearts and fight as one. This island has its secrets, and it's yours to explore as you please. Just don't get in over your head, okay? Breezy! Yeah!
Best of luck!
A perfect world is a perfect prison. They taught us uniformity is strength, like links in a chain, that there was a formula for success that we all must follow. But I've never been much of a follower. So I stepped away, beyond their lifeless gardens, into the wild, wider world, to explore its infinite beauty. And I learned that our home needs help. Each step has led me closer to understanding how passion and calculation, failure and resilience, science and life, all brought together, can lead us to something honest, vital, true. Perfection is overrated. Our strength lies in our differences, in our compassion, our willingness to grow. I have brought nature and technology together to create a new possibility. And I will heal our world.
This is the place.
A crime. Something like this should never have happened.
I was right.
So I was forced to do this. I'm sorry, Nolan.
Straightforward terraforming mission is never a straightforward terraforming mission. survive a ruthless alien assault, and live to tell the truth.
For centuries, the Couteau d'Or has chronicled the greatest chefs in one prestigious guide. Now, the once-in-a-decade event is returning. Do you have what it takes to earn a star? Do you dream of earning two? Might you join me in history by earning a third? There's only one way to find out. The Couteau d'Or. Become great.
Perhaps you'll be the second chef to get 3 stars.
I'm going to absolutely crush this. They won't know what hit them.
Good gravy.
Welcome to Mr. Sun's Hatbox, a slapstick, roguelite platformer with base building, team management, local multiplayer and co-op, and most importantly, hat heists. Mr. Moon and his nefarious goons have stolen a Hatbox delivery from poor Mr. Sun, and it's up to you, as a solo delivery squad, to get it back by any means necessary. You will encounter everything from covert to chaotic missions. Some might require finesse, and some might need you to go in all guns blazing. Before you set out, you need to set up a base of operations in Mr. Sun's basement as per the Delivery Guarantee TM insurance policy. Even if you start off alone, you can capture and send home any of the hat thieves you encounter, and persuade them to fight for your noble cause. During missions, you'll find a variety of different weapons to help you out in battle. Classics like machine guns and sticky grenades, and even some of the more unconventional varieties. A good delivery employee will learn how to make use of both. You'll also find an array of stylish hats, each with different abilities which can help you on your quest to find the Hatbox. If you get more hats and weapons than you can handle, capture them and take them back to base for future use and research. Your new voluntary employees each have unique quirks. Like Vape Hubbard here. He's great with melee weapons, but has asthma, is a kleptomaniac, and will keep any gold he finds to himself. Be careful though. If you lose your employee out in the field, they're gone forever, and you'll need to find someone to replace them. As you complete missions and get closer to finding Mr. Sun's Hatbox, you'll need to expand your base of operations to give you an edge. Assign staff to all sorts of rooms from the black market and spec op operations to the research and rehabilitation centers, each serving an important purpose for your team management and development. And if all that sounds like too much and you need an extra pair of hands, play co-op with your friends. Play with up to 4 players in deathmatch or last one standing. With your help, we're gonna get back Mr. Sun's Hatbox and make sure Mr. Moon pays for his dastardly deeds. Play Mr. Sun's Hatbox on Steam or Nintendo Switch when it launches on April 20th.
Hola, mi pequeña estrella. Si estás viendo esto, es que me queda poco tiempo. Necesito que me ayudes, Iria. Aún podemos estar juntos.
Papá, echo de menos ver películas contigo o ir a tus grabaciones. Mamá nunca me dejó.
Vuelve a casa. Hay tantas cosas que quiero contarte. Recuperar el tiempo perdido.
Papá. Encontré el diario de mamá. Ella... No puede ser.
Que quien amas te traicione es difícil de creer.
Mamá no es así.
Tienes que despertar. ¿Estás lista?
No sé si es algo que quiero recordar.
Ay, si quieres aquí. Ay, si tú quieres volar. Si quieres que sea en mi cama, pues en mi cama será.
Another day, another house. This one's gonna need some work. All in a day's work. Tomorrow we're back at it again.
見えたか。指輪たちが待っておる。主。
選ばれし
I know things have been hard since I've been gone. I didn't plan to go so soon and leave all of you behind. One day you're just gone, and everyone you've touched is left to pick up the pieces. Everyone in Yesterby is having trouble finding those pieces right now. I need you to be there for them, as I always was for you.
Hello, and welcome to our short combat presentation of The Last Case of Benedict Fox. Let's choose Stone Skill ability. Nothing can touch you now, and you have time to plan. And slide. A well-timed block can deal damage. And a heavy attack to finish him off. Kogai Pin are used not only to stun enemies, but also to open doors.
A visage of his mother. My grandmother?
Resentment and fear. He survived her abuse and wears it like a badge of honor. There is true strength in that.
Cleansed by suffering.
Let's use Kogai Pin to stun and then shoot the flying biscuit. Combat in Benedict is precise and tactical. You need to plan your moves ahead and always be on your toes. Rule number 1 when fighting many demons at once: don't let yourself be cornered. Let's jump into the Twilight Zone.
Beware. Twilight Zone is a place of greatest secret. Secrets one hides before himself. Too hurtful to be faced. Too shameful to see the light of day.
Without a flashlight, exploring Limbo is not the greatest of ideas. So let's suit up.
Feel free to browse my wares.
I've got what I needed. Till next time.
You don't always need to attack your opponents. Sometimes it's just easier to use a smoke bomb and evade them. And back to Twilight Zone. The Last Case of Benedict Fox is a Metroidvania game, so you will need to explore different zones as you progress and learn new skills. Demons? They're not the only faction that you'll encounter in Limbo. You'll need to engage different factions in different ways. Benedict, well, he'll engage in combat many times, but it's your wit and your planning that will decide if he will survive. I hope you really liked what you saw. Let's meet in Limbo from the 27th of April, which is coming out very, very soon.
My mind is being flooded with images. I'm connected now.
Good morning. This is an undiscovered world. Understanding its nature is our key to surviving.
Is this an unknown technology? Or did I discover magic? Looks like we can cross this.
Your adaptation to this new environment is impressive.
Perhaps I should scan it.
I'll catalog your understanding of this planet in a new interface.
Another species? Looks like there's a civilization here. Hurry, Carl! We can't just let everything here get destroyed! Focusing on my objectives, which will help me survive. and develop new technology. Let's get back to work, Carl. You and I are going to do great things out here.
You have reached a new milestone.